Hey everyone, this is Bobby.
And Cedric.
And we're Aging Grateful.
Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to our channel. We are in pre-retirement. We are planning for our retirement. So if you are new to our channel, we are on this journey of making sure that we are ready for when we retire.
Yes.
We have raised our children, worked, still working, and realized that we did not save, or we weren't wise with our money, but we were also taking care of kids. We did not actually save for retirement. So now we're fast tracking and sharing with you our journey on how we're doing it. One of the ways is living abroad. We live in Mexico, San Miguel de Allende to be exact. And today's video,
we're going to talk about some hidden costs while living abroad.
While we are living abroad. So these are things that we are experiencing. We are settled here in San Miguel de Allende. We're doing our unbudgeting. If you want to know a little bit more about that, there's an upcoming video, and we talked a little bit about it in our previous video. So go back and watch. But with all of that, we are noticing that there are some additional things that you don't think about living abroad that could cost you some money. One of which is
airline tickets.
Oh my God.
When going back to, in our case, it's the U.S.
Yeah, but wherever you are originally from and you have decided to live somewhere else abroad, airline tickets, hotels, car rentals, Airbnbs, going back and forth.
Yeah, those
can add up.
Yeah, if you got to go back and forth a lot, they can add up. And if you're in a place too abroad where it's not like a huge city with a huge international airport, it can cost even more.
Yes, absolutely. So take that into consideration, because you think about it, you're like, okay, I'm here in this new space, but there may be times when you need to go back, whether it's for family obligations, business events, just check in during the holidays or whatever. Know that those are some additional costs that you may not have thought about when you were actually thinking about living abroad. Another thing is cost of furnishing your new place. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you go back to our previous videos, when we first started this journey, we got rid of a lot of stuff.
Yes, we did.
Oh my gosh, we downsized, we gave away so that we can move abroad. However, thinking back on it, we still would have done the same thing, because absolutely hands down. However, there is an additional cost that you will be potentially maybe furnishing your new place.
Right.
Or if you are getting a furnished place, don't think that you're not going to be buying some stuff to kind of personalize the property or the place and make it your own. So you're still going to be spending some money on furnishing your new places.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we rent furnished places thinking that's the whole reason, right? It's furnished, I just move in, I don't have to worry about it. But we have yet to be in a furnished place where we don't have to buy something.
Absolutely, there is something that you're going to be buying. So those are hidden costs, because you don't think about it. You're like, yeah, good, I got this furnished place, but then when you get in and you live in it for a bit, you're going to be like, I need to change the shower curtains, and it could stand some plants, things like that, So if we didn't have an oven, so things like that. So keep that in mind. Another thing that we want to share as far as hidden costs of living abroad is fees.
Yes.
If you are going to be in a new place, a new country, for that matter, you want to stay a long time, you will be applying for residency in order to do so, right?
That's
Whatever their policies or procedures are, you will follow accordingly. And those cost money to be residents.
And I just thought about it. So you can do border runs, but you're going to spend the money in airline tickets going back and forth anyway. So I mean, there's not going to be escaping that.
Nope, especially if you want to call that place home.
Yeah.
So that, along with if you are maybe potentially starting a business or something like that, or wanting to work in the country of origin, you may have to get work permits, and you may also try to do your residency process yourself, right?
Yes.
But if it gets overwhelming and you are confused or just not wanting to do that on your own, you're going to also have to hire a facilitator or someone to assist. So then there's fees associated with that.
Yeah, not only, you mentioned the work permits and stuff like that, but even starting a business, there may be licensing and things that you have to get that business up and running.
Absolutely. So keep that in mind as well, guys. Another thing is deposits for rental properties, utilities, things like that you may not anticipate having. I know here in San Miguel, it may have something like 1 or 2 months deposit, plus the first months if you're going to be renting. But keep in mind too, it's dependent upon the individual. I was
about to say it varies.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 months, 3 months, plus the move in. We've seen no money, just move in. I mean, we've seen it all. So,
but you need to be
don't
prepared.
be expecting just because you saw somebody on YouTube move in for zero down.
Yes, that's going to be your.
That's the norm. Yeah, it just depends. It's all over the place with that.
Absolutely.
So, and a lot of times it's cash.
Yes.
So be prepared for that.
Absolutely. Another thing too, yes, absolutely, cash. Was a solo efectivo?
Yeah.
Cash only. But also keep in mind too, your first few months of being in a place, you don't know what the utilities going to cost you.
Yes.
In that space. So, you may be running the air conditioning unit in a place that's warm, but you really don't know how much that's going to cost, or heat or anything of that nature, gas. So it's best to just be prepared to have some money set aside for the just in case. And when we mean money, I'm not talking about like $10, $15. We're talking a nice little piece of change set aside so that you can make sure that you're good, at least in knowing what to expect for your utilities going forward.
Yeah, and I've said this before, is when you get into a place or move to a new place too, and you may have a budget, it's going to take you a while to get into the groove of that budget, especially moving into a new place, because there's going to be things that you thought you had and didn't need, like maybe you don't have any face towels,
yes,
or maybe you don't have any, it's just little things that just come up. You spend a lot of time, it seems like the first couple of weeks, and that's moving anywhere, new places, like the first couple of weeks kind of,
getting yourself together.
Yeah, getting these things that you didn't realize that you needed.
Absolutely. Like a juicer. Also too, the next thing that could be a potential hidden cost is shipping fees, mail services. We are so used to, in the United States, just having the U.S. Postal Service or Amazon just like right there at the beck and call. But overseas or abroad, you may have to have a service to deliver your mail. Yeah. Amazon does still
I'm about to say, Amazon is at the beck and call.
It is, but it's not at the beck and call like it is in
but you're going to have to pay some import fees.
You're going to pay some import fees, and you're going to pay some
shipping
time
fees
and some time, because it's not next day,
yes,
or anything like that. But mail services fees, they cost money.
Yes.
There may be an annual fee, there may be a monthly fee just for the service. And then once you get the service established and packages may be coming forth, you may also have to pay additional fees for shipping, weight, and all of that stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're typically charged by the weight. Mm-hmm. So just because you're paying them a monthly or yearly service or whatever it is, you still potentially have to pay for mail that gets delivered to you, depending on what it is and how heavy it is. So.
Absolutely. And Amazon, Love them. Yes, they do work, but you will be paying import and shipping fees.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. The next thing we want to talk about is tax implications. Like if you're starting a business, like maybe you're going into hair care, maybe opening up a hair care business, or you're doing Airbnb, you know, you found a beautiful property that you purchased and you want to go ahead and put that as an Airbnb, things like that. There are things you want to consider as far as taxes, right? You want to make sure you cover those.
Yeah.
It's not Uncle Sam over here. I don't even know who you would call him.
Uncle Senor.
Uncle Senor. Uncle Senor gonna be knocking at the door. So you
and then he gonna go have his party with Uncle Sam. They gonna get together.
Yeah, they gonna both get together. Especially if you're in the U.S. and you're working in another country. Please make sure that you understand that there could be potential tax implications associated with that. Also, another thing to mention in that realm is that you may want to hire an accountant.
Yes.
Or something of that nature. If you're going to be having a business here, you want to make sure you're on the straight and narrow, and whatever those costs are associated with having an accountant, that also can be a factor.
Right.
The next thing is
ATM fees.
Oh, ATM fees.
And international fees, the exchange rate. All of those things, they're little costs that add up over time. Especially the exchange rate fluctuating. If you're paying for example, in Mexico, if you're paying your rent in pesos, the exchange rate fluctuates pretty much every day. So it could be this one month, it could be this the next month. You know, you pay $1,000 this month, and then maybe $1,050 the next month.
In
it
USD,
may be
yeah.
$950. So it just kind of depends.
Absolutely. So if you're paying in pesos, keep in mind that, you know, if you're trying to equate this into US dollar, that US dollar amount is going to change because the peso also is changing.
Yeah, it's funny because people kind of watch it almost like they're watching a stock market. It's like, oh, this peso is this, let me go get some money.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So just keep that in mind that there is a slight variation, and what you may be paying this month for rent may not be what the US dollar equivalent amount the next month.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, actual costs. And those exchange rate fees, the ATM fees,
Yeah.
they can get you as well.
Yeah, they add up. Some banks do the international fees. That's one reason why we use Charles Schwab, because they don't do the international
Yes,
fees.
and we're not affiliated. I mean,
No.
we're not being paid by Charles Schwab, but get yourself, like Capital One and all that, get yourself accounts that actually either reimburse you those fees as well. So just a little tip. And next on our list, we are talking about healthcare. Healthcare, we talked about this on plenty of other videos as far as, you know, our experience with healthcare here in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, normally you're trying to just take care of your health. So something as simple as going for a checkup. If you have insurance, you know, you usually just pay the copay and you walk out.
Yeah.
But here in Mexico, that's not the case.
Nope.
You do have to pay out of pocket. And these are just expenses or things that are hidden because of the fact that it's normal day-to-day things that you think that you're doing. That's still going to cost you some money outside of what you normally would spend if you were somewhere else.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. Another thing is we went to the doctor, you got your checkup. To see the doctor, it was like 80 something bucks.
Yes.
USD. And then we were getting lab results, lab tests, blood work.
Yeah.
And that is also an additional expense on top of that. So these are things that can add up, and these are just normal things that you just think you're going to be taken care of, but realizing that there are some additional costs outside of what you probably would have been paying, right?
Yeah.
Which will bring us to our last thing.
Cultural adjustments.
Oh my gosh. You may be spending some money that you didn't think you were going to be spending to make sure you feel comfortable and get out and experience the culture.
Yeah, I mean, you could be maybe taking some lessons, Spanish lessons or whatever lessons in the country you're in, but you know, you may not think at first you'll use, you know, your apps and all that stuff, but then when you're in the day-to-day thing, thick of it, you'll find yourself, oh, I need to take a lesson here, I take a lesson there, or you'll hear, oh, somebody does lessons for this. It's pretty, so then you'll, you know, it's just things that you do just to, you know, learn the language.
You also will probably be wanting to attend some events or some experiences like concerts or cultural experiences, maybe even going to restaurants and things of that nature, so you can get out and meet people and mingle and associate yourself well into your new place. And those things can add up and cost some money in order to do so. Yeah. So we hope that this video was helpful in explaining some hidden costs that we are realizing that we're experiencing by living abroad. If you like what we have been talking about, go ahead and like,
subscribe,
and comment, and then hit the notification bell to be notified when we have our next video.
Yeah. Until then,
all right, deuces.
see you next time.